Today's lesson is on quadratic functions, word problems. And this is section 2.2b because it actually connects completely off of the previous lesson. So I don't have actually anything new to explain to you or teach you. It's just how do you apply what you learned before to what we're doing now. So when you read a word problem, the thing that makes it difficult is that it doesn't say find the y-intercept or find the x-intercept or find the vertex. But those are really just the 3 points that you're being asked for. The first thing you need to identify is understand in the problem what value or point is the question asking for. Okay, so your 3 options are the vertex, the y-intercept, and the x-intercepts. Okay, and I parentheses x because the s because it could be one or both. Now the vertex is anything that has to do with a maximum or minimum. Okay, the y-intercept is your starting point. And the x-intercepts is where it lands on the ground. So let's do it. We'll fill this in. So for standard form, to find the vertex, y-intercept, and x-intercept. Okay, so let's fill this in for this table. If you're able to, at this point, pause the video, fill this all in yourself. That'd be great. If you want to listen to me explain it one more time, feel free to keep going. If you do fill this in yourself, be sure to check after you jump this section, right, to make sure that you've got the right thing. So in standard form, actually let's do vertex form for the vertex because we know that's your h and k. Standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. Vertex form is a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. Intercept form is a parentheses x minus p x minus q. So vertex form, the vertex is the easiest. Standard form, the y-intercept is the easiest. And intercept form, the x-intercepts are the easiest. Okay. The other ones are a little bit more complex. I'll do those in a different color so you can identify what the easiest point is. To find the y-intercept of vertex form, plug in x equals 0 and simplify to find y. Same goes for this one, right? It's the same. So y-intercept's pretty straightforward. To find the vertex of standard form, you need to do x equals negative b over 2a, and then you have to find f of x. So really your vertex, if you want to think of it a different way, is really x comma f of x, given that x is equal to negative b over 2a. Let's see, the intercept form. To find the vertex, you have to find your x value of p plus q divided by 2, and then you find f of x. Get the y value. Okay, so this is the same, just with a different formula. If you're not good at remembering formulas, you can also physically find the middle, but if you don't have a graph, finding the middle of that is a little bit trickier, right? So just be aware that without a graph to count, knowing this formula as the midpoint formula, adding 2 numbers together, divide by 2, is how you find the average. X-intercepts of vertex form. Set y equal to 0 and solve for x using inverse operations and square roots. Okay, make sure you have 2 answers. This one is going to be plus or minus. And then standard form x-intercepts, you have to factor to get intercept form. And then you can find p over q. Okay? So let's take a moment and read our first problem. Okay. Jason jumped off a cliff into the ocean in Acapulco while vacationing with some friends. His height as a function of time is modeled by the function h of t equals negative 16t squared plus 16t plus 480, where t is the time in seconds and h is the height in feet. How long did it take for Jason to reach his maximum height? Well, first off, the point you're being asked for is the maximum height. No, it's how long. Okay, so how long? Let's just draw a quick picture. H is the height, t is the time, right? So you want, and he's jumping off a cliff. Oh, okay, so I should start here. It's going to be something like this. Okay, so you want the vertex, but you don't want the full vertex. You want the time it takes to the vertex. So this is the x value of the vertex. And then B asks, what was the highest point that Jason reached? Well, the highest point is the y value of the vertex right here. Jason hit the water after how many seconds? Well, that's the x-intercept when y equals 0. Okay, so now we have all this information. You can easily just follow the directions for this, right? This is standard form, so we're going to be using this, this, and this. We need the x-intercept, and we need the vertex. Not too bad. So we're going to do x equals negative b over 2a, which means negative parentheses 16 over 2 times negative 16. I'm going to cross out those right away, and we get 0.5 seconds, right? Or half a second. Okay, that's pretty quick, right? It's sort of like when you jump off a cliff, like instantly you start to fall, but you do go up first for a little bit. Okay, so now to find the y value of the vertex, we have to plug in f of 1/2. I'm going to use 1/2 just because I'm better at squaring 1/2 than I am squaring 0.5. So I have negative 16. 1/2 squared is 1/2 times 1/2 plus 16 times 1/2 plus 480. Okay, 1/2 times 1/2 is 1 over 4, right? Because it's 2 times 2 on the bottom. So half of 16 is 8. Let's see, so then I have 16 divided by 4, because 16 times a quarter is just 16 times 1 divided by 4, which is negative 4 plus 488, which is, let's see, sorry, I'm just making it a little bit clear where my steps are broken up. 484, and we need feet. Okay, so I mean, technically you should be writing a sentence. Let's see, Jason reached a maximum height of 484 feet. I'll just write it over here. Okay, Jason reached the maximum height after half a second. Okay. Jason hit the water after how many seconds? That's the x-intercept when y equals 0. So I'm going to go 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 16t plus 480. I'm going to divide all of them by 16, or factor out a negative 16, sorry, because I need positive t squared. That means I'm dividing every single one by negative 16. So dividing that gives me t squared. Positive divided by negative is negative 1t, and then minus 48 divided by 16 is 3, so that'll be minus 30. Okay. So I need numbers that multiply, two numbers that multiply to negative 30 and add to negative 1. I know that'll be minus 6 and positive 5. And so I have t equals 6 and t equals negative 5. These are not both the answers, right? You can't, if it's asking after how many seconds, I need t equals 6. So Jason hit the water after 6 seconds. Okay, let's keep going. These are all sort of the same, so if you wanted to pause here, try it yourself, and then come back and check your answers, you can do that. I'll also keep talking and hopefully do this fairly quickly. So if a toy rocket is launched vertically upward from the ground level with an initial velocity of 128 feet per second, then its height is given by this equation, if air resistance is neglected. After how many seconds will the rocket be 112 feet in the air? So actually, this is no longer a critical point. 112 is the feet in the air, so that's like the height, right? And because it says h is the height, t seconds, so 112 is the y value, and we need to solve for x. So what we're going to do is set 112 equals negative 16t squared plus 128t, and solve from here. Now, we've sort of practiced factoring already. We are going to factor out the negative 16, I believe. No, we have to set it equal to 0 before we can factor. So we have 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 128t minus 112. Okay, in order to find the x-intercepts of this, we need to factor out the 16. Sorry, I'm pulling up my calculator because I'm not good at dividing 128 by 16. T squared minus, and this will be a plus, right? Yes, because the signs flip. So this will be positive now, negative, and positive. So 128 divided by 16 is 8. And 112 divided by 16 is 7. Okay. So that means I have 0 equals negative 16, t minus 7, t minus 1. Oh, yikes. Out of space. T minus 7, t minus 1. And that means t equals 1 and 7. Okay, that makes sense because you're going to start off at 0. It's going to go up past 112, and it's going to come back down. So you can sketch a picture to understand. Right? And I know the y-intercept is 0 because right now there's no c value. Okay, how long did it take for the rocket to reach its maximum height? This is the vertex. So the vertex is, and how long means we want the x value. Negative b over 2a, negative 128 over 2 times negative 16 equals to, let's see, we just did 128 divided by 16, so I know this is 8 right here. So it'll be negative 8 over negative 2, which is 4. So 4 seconds to reach max height. What is the maximum height? Well, we're going to take 4 and plug it in. F of 4 equals negative 16t squared. Ooh, instead of t, I'm going to plug in 4. plus 128 times 4